Hello everyone. So I'm quitting my job. So yeah, I have officially done it. I have just spoken with my line manager and I'm quitting my job. Now some of you may have come from my Instagram or just YouTube by algorithm or my LSE YouTube videos. Welcome, I'm Saemi. I spent most of my teenage years in the US, went to college in the US and Germany, then came back to South Korea to work as a financial journalist, then went back to academia to pursue my master's in London. Then I joined a UK EdTech company, and now I'm quitting. So some of you may be wondering, why? Well, I have three major reasons. So number one, I had new project offers. So if you have seen my previous vlog videos, you may have heard me saying reasons why I joined this particular company and this industry. So my master's dissertation was exploring educational policies around the use of EdTech in schools, and I wanted to get a hands-on experience in the EdTech industry and EdTech company. So when I do research on this topic later, I will have an insider's view, and that was crucial for me. Nonetheless, this was by far the shortest amount of time that I worked in a place, only 4 months. But the reason why I'm quitting now is that I felt I was very ready to move on. Ever since I stepped into the real world, I always had this rule in my career, which was when I get a new job, that I work in that place for at least 6 months. But this time was very different. I'm sure I had more room to grow if I wanted to get into the trajectory of digital marketing, content executive in that whole area in the tech industry. It would make sense for me to keep on working and learning, but this role wasn't exactly what I was looking for, and especially it won't really help me come to my vision and my calling. It definitely was a fantastic experience though, being able to meet some of the nicest people that I could work for and work with. It truly was a huge blessing to be in such a wonderful team, and I've said this numerous times to our teammates that it truly was a blessing that I got to work with them, because it's so rare to have such a great team in a workplace. But I knew I was ready to move on, and especially when I had new offers to consider, which really caught my attention and they aligned better with my career goals. So I was ready to move on. 2, ownership. So after working for a tech-based startup, a business, which definitely was a type of company that I was interested in getting an experience of working in. I mean, I learned a huge deal, but I also learned a very, very important thing about myself, which was I needed ownership when it comes to my work. So I spent all my life being a one-person entrepreneur. You know, I had my own educational business when I was in my 20s. I built my own brand, you know, my blog, website, YouTube, Instagram. And this is something that I love doing. I love being able to create and share. And it comes very natural for me to express the very deepest and truest version of myself. So I was ready to do more projects where I could take my full ownership and incorporate more of me as a brand. Number 3, I needed rest. So I told you guys that I've been experiencing major anxiety and depression in the first quarter of 2022, which was all due to a complex box of reasons. After all, I never looked at the wounds that were growing in my heart and my soul. And I've never taken a break in my entire career, except for those moments where I got laid off because of completely unjust reasons. But this time I realized that I really needed to take care of myself. It was time for me to stop and rest and really reflect on everything that has happened to me in the past 2 years. It simply was time for me to rest, especially when I have a foot injury like right now. So now that I quit my job, I definitely have a bit more control in prioritizing God, my family, my loved ones, and my other projects. So now you're wondering what these new projects are that I keep referring to. First of all, I launched my own class, 프리미엄 뉴스 공부법. Shortly after I arrived back in South Korea, several recruiters contacted me for new roles to work in the UK fintech industry. And although I have experience in financial journalism, I no longer was interested in working for somebody, and also moving back to London. Plus, I've always known that I wanted to do something of my own. Also, some other broadcasting stations in South Korea have contacted me for potential projects in the future. And meanwhile, some new project offers really caught my attention, and one of them being launching this new class on Class U. Now, I've always been a teacher, educator all my life, mentor to many high school students, college students, and also giving classes to businesses. I thought this would be a great opportunity to create a course that is more accessible to users, to people who have wanted this kind of content. And the curriculum is also completely done by me from scratch. And also it'll be a good side income for me too. I had applied to PhD programs. It certainly has been a really, really interesting process. And that video will be up next week sometime. So if you are interested in seeing that video, please be sure to subscribe so that you won't miss it when it comes out, and also click the notification bell on. Thirdly, I decided to do another writing project. Now, this will be a very interesting one, as it will be a kind of a writing project that kind of sums up my London life, London phase, and starting a whole new journey. I recently have been approached by another Korean publisher, and we had our first in-person meeting, and I thought, okay, I could do this with this publisher. Actually, there are certain rules that I have when it comes to making work-related decisions, and one of them being I only work with companies or clients that I agree with their intention, vision, and philosophy. And in Korean, I would say 사람을 보고 일한다는 거죠. Not for the money, not for the prestige, not for any other reasons, but the kind of connection that I build with that particular person in that company. So this has been by far the most crucial rule that I've started having in my career, and it's been working for me ever since. And lastly, I'm going to start sending out newsletters to those who opt to be in my mailing list. So this will include some of my personal recommendations of books that changed my life, nuggets of wisdom that I learned along the way, and some of the most important trends and information that you need to really enrich your soul and life. And also you will get the first access of anything that I would offer in terms of free webinars, consulting, or even online streaming broadcast. So if you're interested in being on a mailing list, please let me know via comments down below, and I will start adding you into my mailing list. And this won't be the type of a newsletter that will be sent to your mailbox every single day. It would be a monthly newsletter, and I like to just keep you updated with the kinds of things that I learn along the way, and I think you will really enjoy it. Okay, so if you made through all of this, thanks so much for watching. If you want to follow my journey to the great unknown, please subscribe and also make the notification bell on. I want to end today's video with this quote. Never forget how wildly capable you are. So that's it for today, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao!